Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Welcome to
Only Murders in the Building,
the official podcast.
Join me, Michael Cyril Creighton, as we go behind the scenes with some of the amazing actors, writers, and crew from season 5.
The audience should never stop suspecting anything.
How can you not be funny crawling around on a coffin?
No, that's true.
Catch Only Murders in the Building official podcast, now streaming wherever you get your podcasts. And watch Only Murders in the Building, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Hi everyone, unfortunately we didn't get to the cinema this weekend, so we don't have a new episode, but we decided to resurface this episode we did from earlier in the year because we were delighted to receive a nomination for this year's Independent Podcast Awards, so thank you to everybody from that team. And they featured this episode as one of the highlights, and we agree we had such fun making this and watching. Well, we didn't have fun watching Babygirl, but we had a lot of fun talking about it afterwards. So we thought we'd repost it here in case anybody hasn't heard it, and we'll have a new episode next week. But if you are desperate to hear something new or really something old, head over to our Patreon page where we've just recorded a Retro Movie Club episode on 13 going on 30, so first time watching that for quite a number of years, and we had a lot of fun. That's at patreon.com/thecinema. But anyway, on with Babygirl.
Hello, it's Dave here. This is my wife, Kathy.
Hello.
And this is The Cinema, of course. It's the podcast where we walk home from the movies. Today, we're going to go see a movie called Babygirl, which is the end of a very long-running saga in January between me and Kathy, in which I have been pestering her to watch the movie Nosferatu, and which she has been pestering me to watch the movie Babygirl. And I don't want to spoil what the outcome of this argument was.
It was decided for by our local cinema because we went to check the listings for tonight, which is of course how we plan our trips, and Nosferatu was gone. So thank you, local cinema, for doing my bidding.
Thank you, local cinema. You dragged this argument out for so many weeks that Nosferatu had no choice but to leave. And leave us with this Nicole Kidman thing.
I can't wait. By the way, as we're walking down now, it is freezing. So when we get out of the cinema, teeth will be chattering, I think. Anyway, do you know anything about this movie, Dave?
Yes, I watched the trailer. It actually it looks fine. It looks like so. This is Nicole Kidman plays. This is me summarizing the trailer for everyone. Nicole Kidman plays a very successful woman. She's a businesswoman. She's got the perfect family because she's married to Antonio Banderas.
I mean, in fairness,
everything's great. And then suddenly this intern comes into her life and she gets 50 shades of flustered.
She gets 50 pints of milk, I think.
And they enter into a sort of an affair, so they say. And
I mean, look, the trailer I saw too.
But the twist is
I couldn't be more keen on this.
But Kathy, here's the twist.
Based on the trailer.
You've seen the twist. The twist is he's the one in charge. He's the intern.
Wait, a shocking twist, a man's the one in charge. I can't wait to watch this. I admire Nicole Kidman for, like, she always just plays this kind of icy, high society mom, but she finds new ways to flex the character, you know, and I guess this one's a submissive. She'll always just bring it somewhere you don't expect it to be.
So it's Nicole Kidman is an upper New York rich billionaire, but this time she's a submissive.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
She often plays a stay-at-home mom, but I believe she's the CEO in this as well. So anyway, I'm excited to see it. I've seen various memes around things like glasses of milk that I don't get, but I can't wait to get.
Okay.
And
I haven't seen it. I don't see memes.
I think you'd be thrilled to watch this over Nosferatu, personally.
Well, I mean, I went to our Patreons. our beautiful Patreons who...
Do you mean our patrons?
Our patrons over at patreon.com/the cinema. And I said to them, guys, help me out here. Kathy won't go to Nosferatu. Convince her. And they came up with so many good arguments. But the number one argument that they came up with was there's a prosthetic penis in it. And you still wouldn't cross that line.
Yeah, but we're going to see Babygirl.
A prosthetic vampire penis.
I don't think there's any prosthetics in Babygirl.
You think it's all real? It's all real, baby. The guy in it is the guy from Triangle of Sadness,
which is a film we loved, and I actually think we never talked about it on this podcast because we watched it at home. But yeah, it's a fantastic, fantastic film. He was brilliant. So yeah, I'm excited to see it, and we shall be back after we have watched Babygirl.
See you soon.
Being a CEO means being a collaborator and a nurturer.
Don't you have to be at work?
Everyone is just waiting for me to buckle under the pressure.
Is now a good time to introduce the interns?
Yeah. Hey, how'd you get that dog to calm down?
I gave it a cookie.
You always have cookies on you.
Why, do you want one?
Who decided to make me a part of that mentor program? You have 7 minutes.
So, how did it start?
I see myself as a
Power-hungry personality?
You think that's what I am?
I think you like to be told what to do. Sorry, I didn't mean to. That was incredibly inappropriate.
Your behavior is unacceptable.
Is it? If we're gonna do this, we need to set some rules that you and I both agree on.
Did you order this?
Starting with, I tell you what to do and you do it.
All right, hello, we're back. We have just come out of Babygirl. It's really, really quiet, so I don't really feel comfortable talking about this movie out loud. But here we are. As always, on the Cinemile, there's no spoilers until, of course, we get to Spoiler Street. But it's very, very difficult anyway to spoil a movie that contains no plot.
I think it's wild that it's only January and we've just seen the worst film of 2025.
Yeah, it's a very, very bad film, and I'm never going to let you forget about this because this is your fault.
Do you know
we
what I
could have
realised?
Nosferatu'd it up big time. A movie that is universally acclaimed.
I realised
that our patrons told you has a floppy prosthetic vampire dick, and you chose this where Nicole Kidman laps up milk from a saucer.
I realised I was watching it, and about halfway through I went, what the hell, this is so bad. And I realised, I've seen memes about it and I've seen a trailer.
Oh, you didn't know about the sub-dom stuff?
No, I got that from the trailer. No, I realised I'd never seen a review. I didn't realise it was a bad movie.
Yes, well, we don't actually like to look at reviews too much before we go in because I think it can taint your opinion. But sometimes they're very useful for steering you away from things.
Yeah, I don't seek them out, but I'll usually see them. But I realise now I've only seen things about the milk and like silly clips from the trailer.
But this actually has pretty good reviews.
I'm so sorry.
This has okay reviews. This film has not been slated to the point that we are about to slate it because we had a terrible time.
I'm gobsmacked.
I'm not a big fan of Rotten Tomatoes, but if you want to use that as a method, 77% of critics like this. This is a fresh movie.
That's wild.
48% popcorn meter. So I'm with the popcorn crowd.
Wild.
52%.
Okay, so just to break it down, it's the worst I've ever seen Nicole Kidman ever in her whole career. And I really like Nicole Kidman. It's deadly boring.
It is. This movie is tedious.
2 people got up and left in our cinema, and then
they came back actually.
Did they? Well, I thought they were gone for good, and I was jealous of them. It was deadly,
it is so tedious. I couldn't wait for it to
boring.
end.
It has no plot. It is the least sexy film I've ever seen.
Yes, thank you. It's so not sexy.
There's
and by the way,
in it.
By the way, I do feel it should be said that firstly, a couple of caveats. Number one, I don't understand the world of BDSM or sadomasochism or any, and I do not wish to kink shame anybody who's into that stuff. And I guess there are people who might find this film sexy. I agree with you.
They've no chemistry though.
Yeah, and if the aim of this film were to make that world accessible and interesting to a mainstream audience, I think it has failed spectacularly because
there's none of that in it.
there was no way into this film because the characters are so insanely bland and boring.
But there's not it's not even a particularly kinky film though.
No, I don't.
Like,
I agree.
I would venture to say 50 Shades of Grey is a kinkier film than this. Like, this film is all tedious close-ups of Nicole Kidman and
so much whispering,
really boring scenes and loads of whispering and like shockingly bad dialogue, and I'm sorry to say terrible direction, really bad use of music. But like, it was just, I love that it's called a neurotic thriller because it's the least thrilling film I've ever watched.
Oh my god, no, this isn't a thriller. Like, okay, I think a really good counterpoint for this film is Challengers, which it deals with a lot of the same subject matter. It's about shifting power dynamics between and as they relate to power dynamics in both a professional setting and a personal setting, right?
Yeah.
And how they can sort of go back and forth, a bit like a tennis match.
And look, we've talked a lot about Challengers on this
and
podcast.
I won't go, but the difference is what Challengers does is it creates a sense, the movie never stops and creates a sense of momentum and propulsion. This movie is the exact opposite of like Newton's laws. It has no momentum. It is, you're just waiting for it to kick into gear, and it never does. And when it does present some dramatic conflict, it does it in the most soap opera way. Like, I was actually shocked at how bad it was. And to your point, the dialogue, the writing in this movie, like, for the most part, I was incredibly bored, but I was like, at least the movie is not like, there's stuff happening in between, behind their eyes, and the stuff's all happening between the characters, and I was like, okay, it's like this, and I'm trying to, so this is what she wants, and this is kind of, I could see that, you know, trying to like establish the longing of the characters in the silence.
Was okay.
And then, in the third act, not to this isn't a spoiler, but she just comes out and says everything. You know, she says, turns out this is what I wanted, and this, and just like, I could not believe it was showing, not telling for so long, which was boring anyway, but then it just flipped and just told don't, instead of showing for the end. It just like literally just like, I guess the real thing I wanted was this. Just like, what?
It's so
what?
boring, and it's
You just ruined any bit of intrigue.
Like, we had a lot of fun back when the 50 Shades franchise was out and we reviewed it on this podcast. I had way more fun at 50 Shades of Grey as a movie, because at least it tonally...
that's silly.
But it tonally knew what it was. So I think the problem with this film is that this film thinks
it's prestige.
Highbrow?
Yeah, exactly. This film is by A24, and I think this is a turd wrapped in a beautiful A24
It's a really bad
bow.
movie. Like, it's like if you took 50 Shades of Grey and you think, oh, I'm going to make a really intellectual version of it, but you haven't.
Yeah.
And I like, my overwhelming feeling, and I did turn to Dave multiple times and say this, is what is Nicole Kidman doing in this film? Like, I'm gobsmacked. Like, at one point the actor's just got 2 fingers in her mouth and he's putting them in and out of her mouth, and I'm like, why are we here? Like,
how did we get here?
Why are you allowing that young actor to put his fingers in your mouth?
But sorry, excuse me.
What's happening?
Like, sorry, Kathy, like, why are you surprised? Think of all the, many of the choices Nicole Kidman has made over the past few years. The Perfect Couple, garbage TV.
Yeah, but that's garbage TV, but she's not writhing around like naked, like grinding into carpet.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, I just... Like, I have no issues with actors doing sex scenes or anything like that. Freedom of expression, everybody, brilliant. But like, why is she debasing herself for this film?
Yeah, this film was not worth it. But the stuff she does is quite brave. It's very revealing and it's very exposing. Like she puts her body out there.
But she's been in like Eyes Wide Shut and all this kind of stuff. So like, it's not atypical for her.
Yeah, sure.
It's just like, I don't know. She's so rich and so famous and like.
Yeah, you don't have to do this, but I guess she wanted to do it.
Fascinating that she would. I wonder if when she read the script, there was a sense that it's a good
when she
film.
read the terrible script that we just heard.
Like maybe she was very inspired by the director or something, because it's like there was a whole sequence, and we'll get into spoilers in a bit, where like we won't say who, but like one of the characters is just like silently dancing while the other one watches them, and I was like, these actors are thinking this is a really good scene.
Yeah, and
like, this is really meaningful.
Exactly.
And our whole cinema was laughing.
Sorry, not just the actors, the everyone, like the
involved.
director, everyone on set. You just get the sense this film is so fucking pleased with itself.
It's so pleased
It's
with
like
itself.
it's like this is like we're making real art here.
And there was like a whole scene where
and it's just not. It's just stupid.
There was a whole scene where like one of the characters is like standing against the wall in the corner, and the other character is like, take your clothes off. And our whole cinema was
We were
laughing.
all laughing.
Like it was like a skit. It was like, I did at one point think, oh, I wonder if this film is farce and they're kind of fucking with us, but I don't think it's supposed to be farcical.
No.
But it was very farcical.
No, it's what you said a moment ago. This is high art. This is an attempt at high art.
My final problem
go
with
on.
the film, and this is a very deep problem that really bothers me. So we open and it's Christmas season and the interns begin. Now,
Yeah.
have you ever heard of an internship program beginning the week before Christmas? I haven't. They have their Christmas party. There's Christmas trees everywhere. It's Christmas. We get it.
Yeah.
As the film goes on and many months seem to be passing, there are always Christmas trees on. And then it fully ends again with more Christmas trees. So either a week passed, a year passed, or 100 years passed.
we kept,
all ending in
we
December.
kept thinking, and then there's.
Why is it still Christmas? Why is there a Christmas tree there? And I just don't know. Is the film fucking with us? Did a year pass or did a month pass? I don't know.
It's been like it's like it's been 5 Christmases, and our affair keeps going on.
Christmas stuff means nothing.
Well, to be
you
fair,
should never date your film like that because it's so confusing as a viewer. Because I'm like, huh?
to be fair to the movie, Christmas is creeping ever earlier each year. So it could be like November 1st it started.
But they're having
right?
their office Christmas party that week.
No, yeah, I know.
And also, finally, how small is this company that apparently seems to be like a huge kind of Tesla situation? Because basically everywhere she goes in her office, the intern's just like next to her, the coffee dock, on the roof.
She goes out for drinks, he's there. Like it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
The amount of hoops this movie jumps
So
through
bad.
to get these two together is so ridiculously contred. I'm just
even-
going to spoil one here. It's just like it's in the trailer as well. He shows up in her house, and he's talking to her kids, and she comes in and is like, "Oh, why are you here?" And he's like, "They told me to bring you your laptop." Anyway, look, I think I just don't want to drag any more of my own time out.
We're walking
that has
home
already
anyway.
been invested in this movie. So let's get to spoiler
I
street.
apologise deeply. Oh,
Thank you. I
there's
accept your apology.
There's one thing I want to say before we go to spoilers.
What?
Antonio Banderas, he salvaged his own reputation. He's
From
the only-
Paddington in Peru.
No, he's great in Paddington.
No, he is great in
No, I
Paddington
mean
Peru.
he's the best thing he's the only good thing in this film. Like I think he's the only,
fine, like.
he's the only actor who can leave this film with their head up high and be like, I didn't disgrace myself.
No, to be fair, I think your man, what's his Harris Dickinson? What's his name?
I don't know.
The guy. I apologize.
Nah,
I think
he
was fine.
I think both himself and Nicole Kidman have a lot to be embarrassed about
You think
coming
so?
out of this film. Yeah, their scenes were terrible together.
Yeah, but I don't think that's their fault. I think they did their best.
I don't think it's their fault, but I don't think that they can come away unscathed from something this bad, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, well, look, anyway, we're going to go to Spoiler Street now. You might hear a quick ad before we do. Okay, so brace yourself now because we are going to spoil the hell out of Babygirl. Are you ready?
I mean,
are you ready, Babygirl?
As you said, there's kind of nothing even to like spoil, but like I agree with you at the beginning. There was a sense of build-up. Now, what an opening scene between her and Antonio Banderas.
Oh, can I talk about that for a moment?
Yeah.
So
At the beginning, I was like, oh, hello, we're straight into it.
here's what happened. Let me set the scene. So we are in our local cinema. We're in the smallest screen, so maybe there's 30, 40 seats, right? It's like 4 or 5 rows. So you can kind of see everyone. Maybe 10 people in there. Kathy gets up just before the film starts to go to the toilet, leaves me by myself. And then I look around and realise I'm the only guy in this the whole thing, and I'm by myself.
And when I came back in,
and
I
then-
went, oh, what a creep.
And then I did feel a little bit unconscious that, if these women look over them, it's a guy by himself at this overtly sexual movie. It's a bit odd. And then the movie starts and it's just straight into Nicole Kidman having a big old orgasm.
Yeah. Or
And
it
I
turns
felt-
out a fake orgasm.
And then I thought, no, like we're better than this as society. Like a man can come to a film by himself and it's like you shouldn't judge. And then a man, moments later, a man who's much older than me walked in by himself and sat down, and I looked at him and you went, "You creep."
Oh,
So-
Dave, he who casts
I know.
stones. But
It came right back.
I thought the opening sequence was very interesting, right? I genuinely did. Like when she snuck down to her laptop, I thought she was going to check like the stock markets or something because they're like, "Ooh, she's the CEO," and then that's not what she was doing. So I found the interesting beginning. I found the kind of the meet cute between her and the intern interesting. Like it was all kind of interesting.
It's all in the trailer.
Up
This
until-
all the interesting bits of this movie
Yeah.
are in the trailer.
It was kind of all interesting up until the point where they go to a hotel room, and I truly don't know what happened, but I think he was massaging her bladder to make her piss herself. I don't know.
I don't
I
understand
was like,
either.
I don't know what's happening in this scene, and
She says, "I need to pee," and then he says it's fine. Like he basically tells her, "No,
I
you
don't
can't
know
get
what's
up,"
happening.
and she pees herself.
And then it's
that's
like
what
she's
happens.
crying, and at that point, that was the kind of biggest moment where I was like, "What's going on with Nicole Kidman? Like, is she okay?" And then the film it's so boring thereafter because you know the way you said earlier about like, oh, BDSM or bringing us into this world of dominance or whatever, but there's none of that. It's just like a montage with like a big love song, like a big happy montage of them just having sex all over the place. They never really get to that stuff.
But I was confused because I don't think they were having sex in that montage. I think they were just sneaking kisses and like touching each other a bit.
I have no idea.
Because later when she fully takes her clothes off, it's like a big thing, right?
I don't know. The film is trying to be explicit, but it's actually very prudish. Like I don't actually know what was happening in any of those scenes, and I don't know if it's because they're trying to get below a certain rating, or I just didn't really get what was happening. And then
It's because you're not as sexually liberated as the young people in this movie who go to nightclubs and
I just didn't understand it. And then there was a sequence where
this film was so unsexy that while all this was happening, I was thinking was, there really should have been a strobe light warning for epileptic people at the beginning of this
there
movie.
really should have been. I had similar thoughts. And then there was like a sequence where they're in a room together and he says, "I'm going to tell on you," as in I'm going to tell HR about you, "unless you consent to me being your master." He said, "Consent, we both have to say yes."
Which in
And
itself
I'm
is
like,
coercion. That's not, right?
Consent has to be freely given.
Yeah.
So that's not consent. And I don't know.
Exactly, I had the
And
same thought.
And it bothered me that the film put that out there unchallenged.
Yeah, because he explicitly says he threatened her.
Exactly. And
He
I
said,
think it's
if you don't consent right now, I'm going to leave the room and
I know Nicole Kidman later says in her big tell-all scene that she's like, "I can only get off if I know I'm going to lose everything. Like I need extreme risk to get off," which is why she can't with her husband. But then at the same time, I still feel like if this is a film all about women's sexuality and women feeling safe to like explore or whatever, like, and it's a female director, I don't think a film should leave a thread hanging whereby they give an incorrect explanation of consent. So yeah, that really annoyed me. And other than that, I think it just annoyed me how boring it was. Like I genuinely was so like all month, like I put on a month-long campaign to see this film, and when we first came in and the opening scene happened, I was like, "Oh, bring it on! This is going to be so fun." I think I thought it was going to be a fun film, but it's actually just kind of
somber,
sad. Yeah, because at the time when we saw 50 Shades of Grey, like I used to think those films were a laugh. So yeah, this is actually just a bit sad and a bit depressing. And yeah.
But when it all, the big confrontation happens, and like, which was fine when she reveals it to Antonio Banderas, that all played out fine. But then he comes to the house and they have this. This is a terrible
boring.
scene.
It was
he has this
shocking.
kind of half scuffle with the guy, and then he's kind of having a panic attack, and the
there's a
guy is
Christmas
like,
tree.
I'm like. I think it's the Christmas tree, of course, because all this is happening. And then the funny thing was, the daughter comes and she's like, you need to come home. Dad won't leave the theatre. It's been like, she's implying this huge length of time, and I really wanted to turn to you and say, Mom, you need to come home. It's been 4 Christmases since you left.
She goes, Dad's so upset. He's reading the Bible. And we're just like, what are we watching? And then I thought just had 100 endings. Then
I didn't quite like the final scene, where I guess I like that this couple managed to. She's finally. I guess it's an okay message. I guess that she's finally comfortable with her inner sexual desires. Has expressed them. I mean, obviously, her actions in the movie are not acceptable, and she damaged their family and their relationship. But they kind of worked through that as a couple, openly. She's honest. She says something in one of the most rushed scenes. This is incredibly weird editing in this movie.
Bizarre
like,
editing.
It's my fault. I was hiding who I was and whatever. I guess they worked it. I guess there you go. There's your happy ending.
But last we saw Antonio Banderas, like, he was so angry.
But
What's his
but Kathy, that was 6 Christmases ago. And then
he was reading the Bible.
Exactly. And the Bible said you turn the other cheek.
Yeah, I guess.
And then you lap up some milk when your wife tells you to. And then I think the movie then slaps on this like happy ending where they figured each other out and he can do the sex things she wants. But I'm like, that's just a bit fucking weird, isn't it? Like she's making him reenact things she did with the guy she had the affair with while thinking about him and imagining herself as a dog. So I'm like,
that's what I'm like. The film,
this is not okay.
I just don't see it as like narratively satisfying. And then the very end, or one of the last scenes, is she's in her office and the like PR guy or whoever comes in and goes,
No, I got the sense he's like on her board or something.
He was like, I know what you did with that intern. Come over to my house. My wife's going to be away. And then she's like, if I want to humiliate myself, I'll pay for it. Fuck off. And again, I kind of feel like that scene should have been empowering.
It's a
but
bad scene. Yeah, it
was
doesn't land.
so badly
Didn't
written.
And
it should have been the end of the movie, but the movie ended on her and Antonio Banderas in bed, which I found really dull.
Terrible endings. And the other scene that wanted to be a big powerful moment, but I thought landed on its face as well, was when her her leadership consultant woman, her assistant or whoever, who's been throughout the entire film, who was dating Samuel as well.
Which was very.
She is like, I know, and I need you to be a strong woman, and it's just like, I just thought it was a bad scene as well.
But also, I think her dating Samuel thing was very confusing to us as viewers. Like, suddenly it's like everyone knew Samuel and Nicole Kidman had been sleeping together, but how?
This and also it's like, and they're together. It's just like this film kept skipping over stuff. And also there was a moment where she mentioned, we can't keep texting and calling each other like this. She's always on her phone. And I'm like, I guess maybe we're spoon-fed these days where we get to always see what texts are on someone's phones in TV and movies, but we didn't ever witness any of their texts. Except one that said roof.
Yeah. So
which, by the way, is you change one letter and it's a woof.
And also it was the only, I guess I was going to say it's the only text in the chain, but she's probably been deleting this text. But at the same time, you're either showing us the text or you're not showing us the text.
Yeah.
And actually, as in real life, it's very boring to watch someone else on their phone just like typing.
I liked the guy who was like, do you have a phone addiction? And she's like, I have a job.
I really enjoy that. Like, I think the dynamic of like a very senior like CEO of like an AI tech company, which is like, taking jobs from humans and all the rest of it, is married to a very creative artist character who's like directing a play. And even I feel like there was more interesting stuff to explore then, whereas I feel like the film just reduced Nicole Kidman's character to her sexual desires and actually nothing else going on.
I don't think the film really has anything to say.
No,
I think it does.
I don't either.
I think the core idea is interesting, and the trailer was quite intriguing. That concept of a successful person who is in charge of everyone, whose sexual kink is that they want someone to tell them what to do.
Yeah, but I've seen Billions. Like, do you remember Paul Giamatti's character?
Yeah, I guess
there's
it's
nothing
just like
refreshing here or interesting. Like,
well, I guess the gender roles are
she's
flipped.
A woman.
Yeah,
but like barely. And then there's a point where they could maybe get into it when the young guy, when Antonio Banderas and the young guy are talking after their pathetic fight scene, and he says, "You're looking at it from an old-fashioned way. you know, women want to be dominated or something. And I'm like, oh, is there an idea to explore here? And then that just fizzles and they never explore that.
No.
And then there's one scene when she's in bed with the young guy and he's like, sometimes I scare myself or whatever. And it's just like, God, this is turgid. Like, I really mean this when I say I can't believe how bad it was. I'm so sorry for making you come. I wish we'd gone to Nosferatu. That was mostly why I didn't want to see that, was actually the length. It looked very long, but this felt so long.
Yeah, exactly. It feels much longer.
Like I kept checking the time to be like, when is this movie ending? So boring. So I'm really, really sorry anyway. And like,
Thank
it's funny because
I accept your apology.
My most disappointing TV show of last year was actually what was her show again? The murder mystery one, Perfect Couple.
Yeah.
Because it was like it had all these kind of good ingredients and then it didn't end up working. But compared to this, A Perfect Couple is like a work of art, masterpiece. Yeah.
Do you know, I'm just also quite disappointed that Nosferatu, I'm not going to get to see it at the cinema because that's supposed to be like, the cinematography is supposed to be incredible.
Well, I think it's still in different cinemas. You'd have to drive there.
Yeah. Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I accept your apology.
When I'm wrong, like
it's
Baby
really
said
hard
in Dirty Dancing, I say I'm wrong.
And this is the problem. See, now I can't lord it over you now because, you know, you've apologised. You agree with me.
Within 15 minutes of the film, I was like, I'm sorry. But it was more like,
anyway.
Back then there was a bit of momentum, a bit of hope, you know. Things are moving along. By the end,
it just also took so long to get there as well. I'm like, and it wasn't. There was no. I agree with you. There was no real chemistry. There was no sizzle.
No.
There was no pop. This movie is just flat as all hell.
Because like my memory of 50 Shades movies that they had no chemistry, but now I'm like kind of looking back fondly, like, geez, those movies were great, weren't they?
Also,
like, this is making me think better of a bad movie franchise.
Didn't Nicole Kidman do this with Zac Efron recently in the film you watched?
Oh God, no, that was nothing like this.
No, but also like had no chemistry by all accounts, right?
No, I think they have okay chemistry. It just wasn't
okay.
a great movie. I can't even remember what it was called now, but God, no, it's a masterpiece compared to this.
So again, not a great movie, yet you seem to hold Nicole Kidman's movie choices in incredibly high regard.
I don't hold them high, I hold her high.
Okay.
Like, do you remember years ago we watched The Paperboy with her and Zac Efron? That was so good.
Oh, that was pretty good.
I think it's more of a recent issue, but anyway,
Yeah.
look, I'd be a bit wary next time I'm going to see something with Nicole Kidman in it, that's for sure.
Right.
I certainly won't watch anything by this director again.
Should have listened to our patrons.
Yeah, we should have.
Okay, well, thank you all for listening. I hope you didn't go see Babygirl.
Yeah.
Or if you did and you enjoyed it, I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
And tell us why. Come visit
Yeah.
us on socials.
Yeah. Where's that?
You can find
Where are they?
You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Blue Sky. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Letterboxd. Come over and say hi.
Yes.
And tell us about Babygirl. And do you like drinking milk?
Do you
The
please?
milk, every time the milk stuff happened, I had fun with that.
Yeah. We're actually we're in charge now. Okay, and we're going to tell you what to do. Right? You're going to go to your podcast app. Okay. No, first go in the corner.
Yeah.
Go in the corner. Face the wall.
Drink a glass
Take out
of
your
milk.
phone. Yeah.
Take off all your clothes.
No, okay. I know this is getting weird. Just give us a 5-star review.
Yeah,
You
just
just
give
keep
us
your
a
clothes
5-star
on and to give us a 5-star review, right? That's all we ask of you.
And the safe word is you writing the phrase, "This is my favourite podcast to listen to while I drink milk."
Yes. That's it. So what is it? This is my favourite podcast to drink milk with.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. If everyone can just write that review, it won't at all be off-putting to
No,
anyone else who
it'll be
reads
great,
that.
yeah.
But then you'll be in the know. It's an in-joke. We've
And-
all got an in-joke
Of
now.
course, yeah. And if you've gotten this far, God help you. If you are watching Severance, we are doing weekly reviews of Severance over on Patreon. We're having a ball. Best show ever.
We could have been watching it tonight.
Yeah,
tonight is Friday night. Thanks,
episode
Kathy.
2 is out tonight, and we're going to be a day late watching it because of Babygirl, and I'll never forgive it. I'll never forgive it.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.